Like I said, though, it's not bad because there's two things to brand unity. Brand unity is the second aspect. The first thing that most people have to do is they have to create that history first, right? You need a history so that when someone sees you, you're there.
Yeah.
You have that backlog of content that you're credible. Then it's super important to make sure that your brand is consistent across all platforms. It's not saying that you can't have a different profile picture on LinkedIn in comparison to what you have on YouTube, but the overall feel of your brand is consistent and unified across all platforms. The correlation between marketing and the music industry. So touch on that, because musicians and artists are some of the best marketers in the world.
Absolutely.
Take me through why you think that is, and then I'll give you my thoughts after.
So I'm going to relate it back to what you said on another Talk to JV episode, which was authenticity, right? Artists, a lot of true artists and a lot of bigger artists there.
So Logic,
yeah.
Guys
like Russ, J. Cole, they stick to their personality, they stick to who they are, and they're super authentic. So they don't try to be too polished online. The way they act, what they wear, what they dress, who they are really shines through those videos.
And the audience connects with the musicians and the artists because of their authenticity.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
And then really what takes it to another level is artists and musicians very rarely sell. You never see them go online and say, album discounted this weekend, $6.99, get it now.
Yeah.
Because that's selling and that's losing.
Yeah.
What they do instead is they offer a tremendous amount of value. They talk about their experiences. They talk about their life stories. You know what car they drive. You know everything about them. And you fall in love with that story. And as soon as you fall in love with that story, you fall in love with the music and you connect with it. And from there, everything takes off.
Yeah, and I believe that's why they're essentially the best marketers, or at least record labels that understand that, managers and people that are in the industry that understand that, they know what they're doing because they're not selling. As long as people fall in love with that person, it doesn't matter what you sell. It doesn't matter if it's a hoodie, a mug, a mic, whatever it is, ticket to come to their show, they are willing to do that tenfold because they fall in love with the person. But they're willing to push those boundaries.
It's fair to say that if you're looking to push the boundaries of video creation right now, go sit on YouTube and watch music videos day and night. Look what they're doing, look where they're taking it forward, because what we see in music videos now will translate into regular video 5 years from now. And what I liked about it is something that you said to me that was crazy, that kind of made the light bulb go off, was making a podcast allows you to make a tremendous amount of content efficiently.
Yeah.
Because you shoot for 20 to 40 minutes. Like I said before, I thought I could keep it within 20, but I know every single time we go to 40 now.
Yeah.
But you get your 20 to 40 minutes of content, and then you get to take those nuggets out. You get to make short videos out of it for Second Floor, for JV, for whatever podcast you're making.
Yeah.
And it translates into this volume of content that you can transpire out and create touch points with. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it relates back to what you say all the time is creating subconscious touch points.
Yeah.
Every time, and that's one of the pillars of marketing for you.
Keep your brand at the top of people's minds. And when they're ready for their product, for that product that you offer, they're going to come talk to you. Mm-hmm. You don't have to sell, you don't have to do anything. At the end of the day, you're going to provide a ton of value, run that subconscious inbound cycle, and when you run the inbound and you're looking for a conversion, if the people are ready, they're going to think of you and come back to you.
I was rapping, I was making my own music videos. I was learning marketing at its base level, trying to put text over colors and making thumbnails by myself and learning how to use Adobe. But one thing that I learned from you, Jared, was brand unity and brand consistency.
Keeping it the same across all platforms.
And I was completely off doing it by myself. I didn't know. I thought just as long as I pumped out content, that was the right way to do it. But then, working with you and working with the team, I realized I was doing it completely wrong. But again, you don't know until you're in that pool.
And like I said, though, it's not bad because there's two things to brand unity. Brand unity is the second aspect. The first thing that most people have to do is they have to create that history first, right? You need a history so that when someone sees you, you're there.
Yeah.
you have that backlog of content, that you're credible, then it's super important to make sure that your brand is consistent across all platforms. It's not saying that you can't have a different profile picture on LinkedIn in comparison to what you have on YouTube, but the overall feel of your brand is consistent and unified across all platforms. I wanted to add one more thing in addition to what me and Omid talked about artists being the best marketers in the world, and elaborate on a couple of the points. So first of all, artists, doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter if you're making a tasty video, doing some cooking or painting or doing anything that's kind of providing value to the audience, you're never selling. Artists never sell. You're never going to see an artist saying 50% off of their album. It's just not, it's not something that happens. As a result, people don't skip over the content. They fall in love with the story of the artist and the story of what they're creating and the emotions that they feel inside. That's what makes marketing for artists so special. They have this unique way of not selling, and it just provides this raw value back to the audience that they're creating. The second thing is, as humans, we're addicted to art. Art is one of those human universals. It appears everywhere around the world. It's appeared throughout history. And art is not something that's going to change. It's one of those things, the reason I say your brand deserves digital artistry in today's world is because you can take art from the physical world and transform it into the digital world. And that's what's really cool now is what we used to draw as cave paintings on the side of the cave, we can now do and present that online, and it just goes so much further, so much faster. It doesn't matter if you're an artist, create as much content as possible. What I mean by that is if you're an artist creating music, post 4 or 5 videos a day. Remember that at the end of the day, every single artist had to start somewhere and had to start getting an audience somewhere, so you have to create that volume of content and push it out there, and don't sell. Just get that content out and have people engage with it and engage back. If you're a painter, make sure that you show some time lapses of what's going on. Tell people your technique. Other artists can't copy the technique. There's no point in protecting things anymore. Share it out, give people value, and that value is always going to get returned back to you. And then that applies to every other artist out there, whether you're a chef. Get out there and show your best recipes. Give them off. There's no more secret recipes. I think that's a lesson for restaurants as well, right? There's no secret recipes. Get your information out there. Create content about how you create your signature dish. People are then going to remember you when they create it. And then when they don't want to cook one day, or when they want the experience, or they're going out with friends, you're going to, and your restaurant's going to be top of mind. And that is what branding is all about. Create a brand where you're telling stories, engaging emotion, and solving people's problems, and putting that together, providing a ton of value. And at the end of the day, this is never going to change. Value is always going to come back to you if you're giving value out there. So I just wanted to get that out today. I wanted to expand on what me and Omid talked about. It was a really good conversation, and I think it's something that a lot of artists out there can remember. Just keep creating content, keep going at it, and it's going to make a difference for your brand.